There you are. Hi.
Hi.
Yay. Do you want to
Hi.
just, is there a way to move up a little bit higher on your screen? So,
Um,
yeah, there we
a
go.
little
So I
bit
have your
better.
name covering you.
This is
Perfect.
like the first time I'm really doing this. I don't know how.
It's perfect. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
great.
yay, welcome. So
So
tell
good to see you
everybody,
again.
I know, so nice to see you. I want you to tell everybody how long you've been following me and some of the
Yes.
things like where, because it's so cool.
So I have been following Jen. I think it's more. I thought about it the other day, and I think it's like 5 years. I think almost because it was before your book came out. I got an email with your information, and I signed up for a call,
Mhm.
and I would do the meditations. And from that time, I was always called to work with you, but the timing never seemed to be right. But then I finally signed up this time around, and yeah, I felt like we made it happen.
Yes, I love it. You came to my book launch.
Yes, yeah. So it was like gradually over time, but I knew that this was something I wanted to do. Like from the very first moment, I knew I was called to do it, but I also knew that it would fall into place. And I saw the email for Manifestation Masters, or the one before this one.
Hmm.
And I think it's when the whole pandemic started.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I think this is it. I think it's time. It was odd, but it felt like everything kind of fell into place timing wise.
Yeah, I love it. So you've been following me for a while, but it just felt like this was the perfect time, especially during COVID, to make a shift. And then
Yes.
you jumped in and tell us what you manifested.
Yes. So it's been a goal of mine to pay off my student loan. And surprisingly, I paid it off in one shot. Like I made that payment, like I didn't have to do the installments the way I thought I was going to have to do. And I actually thought like, oh, maybe it just won't happen this year. Maybe I just, I'll just have to, it'll have to be a little bit longer. But I made that payment in full. And
Amazing.
it was such a huge relief. And then after that, money was a big thing for me, that I was focusing on and manifesting. And another thing was I really wanted money for school. And it was after one of our meditations, I thought of it, I focused on it, and my scholarship came through.
You paid off your student loans in full, and then you manifested a scholarship
Yeah, yeah. And it
for,
was just,
for medical school, was it?
yes, for
Yeah,
medical school.
that is
And I actually
huge.
wanted to share that a week ago, I was thinking, God, it'd be so great if, I could have just a little bit more for school. And, I thought about it, connected with it, used some of the tools that you spoke a lot about with meditating and just feeling it come to you. And I actually just applied to I got an email a week later. After I did all that, I got an email a week later from school saying, oh, we actually have new grants and scholarships available, and I actually qualify for them. So I'm
Amazing.
waiting to hear back on that.
I love that.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah. And tell us anything else that, you've been following me for so long and now
Yeah.
you jumped in. So for people who might be in a similar place where they've been kind of looking but not sure
Mm-hmm.
if it's time, what would you say to someone like that?
I think that if you're feeling called to do something, you should definitely do it. And a big thing that I took away from the program was that, and that I really appreciated, was your focus on doing what you can where you're at. Feeling like, I think sometimes it's easy to feel like, oh, well, I need to be a little farther along to do something, or maybe a little bit later when I feel more prepared. But I felt like in the program it was very much about using where you were and not feeling bad about that, and knowing that wherever you are can propel you forward. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I love that. You never feel ready. It's just like jump in, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you
And
get
it's
used
perfect.
to it. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And you still talk to your accountability partner.
I do. I actually spoke to her. I messaged her a day or two ago because we were actually both thinking of doing it again. So we were actually talking about that.
Yeah. So one of the things in the program is that you pair up with an accountability partner. So it's even more beneficial that you actually do the work for those 40 days.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of support, and I've never done anything like this before. And I've never worked in a big group, which was why at first I was a little hesitant, because sometimes I can get a little shy, or I was wondering if it'd be overwhelming, but it's actually really supportive, and you don't feel like you're lost in a mass of people. It actually feels really personal, and the fact that you do pair up with someone and we hear from you all the time. So it feels very supported, and you feel like there are always people with you as you work through things, and it doesn't feel as overwhelming as you may think it does.
Yeah, I love that. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
You get a ton of personal attention for those 40 days. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Dominique. I'm so grateful
thank you.
for you.
Yeah.
It was so incredible when I first learned that you were at my book launch, when my book first came out, and then you, a couple years later, joined Manifestation Masters.
Yeah. And it was just, it was such a great progression, because I feel like this time around, jumping into the program and really getting clear on what I wanted, I felt like everything just evolved to a really good place. Mm-hmm. And even though the program's finished, I feel like it's still, like, everything still applies.
Yes.
So totally. When it's over, you don't feel like, oh, it's done. You just feel like it continues.
Yeah. Amazing. I love that, Dominique. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so thrilled for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. I love it. It's just amazing to hear, how people find you, and then, what inspires them to sign up, and what happens once you do. So I'm thrilled that you took the time to be with us today, Dominique.
Oh my God. Thank you. It was my pleasure. It's great seeing you.
Yay, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So I am so grateful for Dominique. An incredible story that she manifested paying off all of her student loans in full during Manifestation Masters, and that she manifested a scholarship to medical school on top of that. It's just incredible. So I'm so thrilled that Dominique was here with us today, and I'm grateful for her. And like she said, you never feel ready, right? But you just jump in, and then it's amazing.